cents on this. Well, I was actually having a conversation with, two gentlemen some days ago. I really cannot recall the exact date, but it was early this week. So we're having this conversation. I actually love to have conversations like this, especially with the guys or the men. All right. So we were having a conversation about, whether whether it is okay for you as a person. You're probably in a relationship and you plan on settling down with this person, and then you feel like there is some sort of deficiency in your partner, whoever it is that you're with, maybe in terms of education, in terms of career growth, and you don't want to take it upon yourself like, oh, after all, we're here to, support each other and watch each other grow. So it shouldn't really be a big deal, supporting your partner, because after all, self-development journey is a process. It's not something that will materialize today. It's a process, and in the process you're definitely going to cry, you're definitely going to smile, you definitely would want to throw in the towel and say that you're done, and at the same time energy will just come from nowhere, and you see yourself pushing and pressing. But it's always a jolly ride. In all sincerity, it's always a jolly ride. So whilst having this conversation, don't forget, I was the one having the conversation with these gentlemen, two of them, right? So it was my word against theirs. So I said something that I really will not mind, a guy, if we are having a thing and we feel like we want to make this whole thing official, we want to take it to the permanent side. By that, I mean maybe tying the knot, just making everything official, you get. And then I'm a career woman, no doubt. And I feel like there's a stage I need to get to in my career. There are professional courses that I need to, go for just to help me advance and navigate properly in my career path. And then my partner decides to like, hi, baby, can I just, is there any way I can assist in this regard? And I'm like, well, I don't mind. And then I said something. My submission was that would be the sweetest thing a guy would do, honestly, as opposed to you taking me out, spoiling me with money, showering me with gifts and all of that. If you take it upon yourself to say that, no, this lady, she's really very passionate about her career, and I think the best I can do is to help her, pursue her career in such a way that she would navigate without stress. Even if there's going to be stress, but it won't be much, knowing, of course, that you are present in my life. And then one of them was like, oh no, that would be the worst thing a man can do to himself. Any woman that is passionate about her career should go about her career goals on her own, especially when you're not married to the woman. So I was actually taken aback for a minute. I'm like, where is that coming from? Anyhow, it is opinion, and quite frankly, I respect that opinion of his. But I feel like it actually had this clause to it. Because for me, if a man is going to go out of his own way to like do that for a woman, it just goes to show how much this person loves you. It's not just about the emotions or about the what's it called now, the shenanigans that comes with you being in a relationship, intimacy and all of that. Someone who is willing to support and watch your dreams materialize, it's really a big deal, for real. And the other guy was like, well, his thoughts are actually different from that of the first guy, who actually thinks that a man will be making a very big mistake, if he decides to maybe involve himself in the career growth of his partner, his wife to be, right? So the other guy was like, no, I don't think that should be a big deal. And according to him, if a woman decides to, the woman he is with, if she decides to like, oh baby, I think that as a businessman, I think there are courses you can actually go for that would, better help you make informed decisions, when it comes to running this business. And at the end of the day, you see that you have some certification attached to your bag that she won't even mind, footing the bills and all of that. And according to him, such a woman is his, it girl. That's the kind of woman that he actually wants in his life. And then I asked him a question. If a woman decides to do all of that for you, Wouldn't she be bruising your ego as a man? And he was like, no, no, not at all. There is no pride when it comes to that. These are two adults in a relationship, and most importantly, they've decided to take it to the next level. So whatever you're doing for me, you're not doing it to rub it on my face like, oh, I'm doing this for you. I'm just trying to help you stand on your feet or your legs. No, you're doing it because you love me, and you know that the end thereof would be great. It would impact the relationship positively. The other guy who's got reservations about playing important roles in the lives of your partner, and he said, well, if a woman is going to spend on him, maybe if he's the career kind of person, and the woman decides to like, okay, baby, there are professional courses that I think you should go for, and if the woman decides to do all of that for him, no big deal. After all, he's not compelling the woman or forcing the woman to do all of these things. And a takeaway from that conversation actually was that I think people are subjected to their opinions, quite all right, but their opinion might not necessarily be a reflection of who they are. But in most cases, you should not ignore some of the comments and utterances that comes, from people, especially someone that you are in a relationship with. So the reason why I'd like us to have this conversation on the Afropop Hour is because, again, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and just like some people actually think that we're not getting it rightly in terms of celebrating Valentine's, even clergymen, they've always come out to say at this time of the year, admonishing or even advising the youth to understand the real ideals of Valentine's Day, and it's not a day for you to go about fornicating, committing adultery and what have you. All right, there is a reason why Valentine's Day is being celebrated every February 14. Okay, so if you don't know, maybe you should just take a break from it, as opposed to whatever impression that you have growing up, about Valentine's Day. So when someone tells you that they love you, I love you, I love you, and then there is really no significant, proof to back it up, does it really make any sense? Does it make any sense? The big question on the Afropop Hour today would be whether or not it is wrong or out of place for you to train your wife or husband to be through school. Is it wrong to train your wife or your husband to be through school? This is coming with a very big question mark, and I'd like us to share our 2 cents, our thoughts on this. If you think training your wife or your husband to be through school will always end up as a bad idea, you probably have ventured into this and it didn't end well. You might just let us in on how things actually unfolded for you, and why you think that people need to have a rethink, especially when they start having ideas like that in their head, that, oh, I love this person, well, this person is a career woman, this person is a career man or career guy, I think I should just just sponsor the person, or maybe assist the person financially, because you feel that love is beyond the profession of, oh, I love you, I love that, but you matching words with action. Because whether you like it or not, if you decide to train your wife or your husband to be through school, it says a lot about how much you love that person. And then, as for people who have benefited from this kind of, kind gestures, because I don't want to sit on the fence on this conversation, I want us to be very realistic. If as a woman, a man actually trained you, through school, before he or she, or before he made you his wife, and at the end of the day, you've graduated, he's made you his wife, you start showing him your true color, or colors, as it were, doesn't really make any sense. Because for people who have reservations about kind gestures like this, it's probably because of the kind of society that we actually find ourselves now. Because quite frankly, some men will come out to tell you that, oh, that would be the worst mistake any man can make, to train a girl through school when you are not married to her. So when people say, don't worry, let me marry you first before I can now train you through school. At least you are now my wife. You understand? And some ladies will say, I can never assist any guy who is not my husband yet with financial, assistance. Because they fear that if they do that, the guy must start taking advantage of them and whatnot. So let us get married first before I can even decide to, extend that helping hand, if at all. But can we really strike a balance on this conversation today? Let's see if we can. We'll take this quick break to go pay some bills. When we come back, the studio lines will be open for you to call in to share your 2 cents. And I honestly can't wait to hear from you. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Sorry, sir. We just sold the last one.
Chai! Papa, what happened? They just sold the 2-bedroom bungalow I wanted to buy, and all others are calling big prices. 30 million naira, 35 million naira for a 2-bedroom bungalow terrace.
Have you tried My Abuja Home Limited?
My Abuja Home Limited? No!
My Abuja Home is selling their 2-bedroom terrace bungalows in Gwagwalada for a promo price of just 17 million naira only.
Wow, that's very affordable. And in Gwagwalada, Abuja FCT, which is just 30 minutes from town?
Yes, it's just after the FRCN radio house in Old Kutunku in Gwagwalada.
So,
for this promo price of 17 million naira, the 2-bedroom comes with a large sitting space, a sizable kitchen. The floors are tiled with 2 bathrooms and toilets with fitting windows with burglary proof, security, borehole water, electricity, and the area is cool.
Wow, My Abuja Home Limited, Abi. Oh yeah, give me the number.
Just call 080-888-37426. I said 080-888-37426 or 080-827-23824. That is 080-827-23824. My Abuja Home. Live the life.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just
20,000 naira?
Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. Hurry now.
You're listening to Afropop Hour. Things about to get jiggy. Another band. You're listening to Afropop Hour. All the juicy details. Keep listening.
And yes, we're back from that commercial timeout. Yes, this is the Afropop Hour live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Your radio experience you can count on. Well, at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, the studio lines are open. So you can call in to share your 2 cents on the big question that we're asking on the Afropop Hour today. Is it wrong? Will it even be a wrong thing to do to train your wife or husband to be through school? To the ladies, the female gender, how many of you will be willing to train your husband to be through school? Is this something you like to do as a woman or as a lady? Don't you think it will be a taboo for you to spend your money on a man who's not yet your husband? We're even talking about you training him through school. Is this something you like to do? And if a man decides not to train you through school or even invest, in you or on you, if you like to put it that way, would you take offense with that? Would you say that the man does not love you or he's not willing to spend his money on you and whatever? Because there are 2 sides to every, opinion or perspective or whatever story that is that we hear on a daily basis. For men who actually think that, God forbid, they can never spend their woman, they can never train a woman they are not married to through school. What are your reasons? Let us in on what your reasons are. Now, the numbers to call this afternoon to be part of the conversation, the numbers are 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 09097054450. You can also join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook, right at Eagles FM Abuja. All right, let's hear from our first caller. Hello and good afternoon to you.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Justin. I'm calling from Paradise.
Okay.
Lifetime extension.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's hear from you.
Yes. Okay, on my own, I will advise that people should stop spending a lot on somebody that have never yet seen their spouse. If you want to marry a lady, first make that lady your wife. Then you can pay your wife to whatever extent. If you want to marry a man, let that man take you the issue of that man becoming your husband. Then whatever you are doing it in the name of family men. This is the issue that makes people becoming angry, fussing each other. There are responsibilities in life. There is parental responsibility. It is responsibility of parents to train their daughters. But in areas where they say their responsibility, whoever is coming to marry them, let that person marry a girl first and then train her as his wife. That is my own view. Thank you.
All right. But before I let you go, are you married?
Yes.
Okay, so now that you're married, I believe you're happily married, right, to your wife, and
Yes,
she is the absolute
yes.
love of your life. Maybe she's a career woman or not. Maybe she's into business. If she decides to tell you that maybe there are courses that she would like to go for, and it would actually help her navigate properly, in whatever aspect of, of her life, and maybe you two were not married already. You mean to tell me you're not going to sponsor her through that?
Right. If never yet married.
You might want to call back. Please do have to call back to make your submission honestly. Hello, good afternoon to you.
I'm not sure. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you're calling from?
This is Godwin calling from Udo.
All right, good to have you, Godwin. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay. First of all, you don't want to know how they tell people. Anybody you're into a relationship with, not much that relationship will lead to marriage.
Okay.
It's not much. That you have a boyfriend today is not much so that person will marry you. Yes. So for me, I see nothing bad or nothing wrong with seeing someone is good.
When you say you see nothing bad or nothing wrong, it means you're sitting on the fence,
see
Godwin.
nothing bad. Something wrong is also bad.
Okay.
I see nothing bad.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
So if your partner decides to maybe sponsor you or train you through school, it could be that you already graduated from university, but there are professional courses you want to go for, and she decides to sponsor it. Are you going to turn down that gesture?
If she wanted to sponsor me, if she's willing to do that, it's what we do for her.
If she's willing to do that, okay. All right.
I will not forgive. Then with me, I will still do the same.
Okay.
There are some things you do for person, even though the person later disappoints you, or even though in a later break up.
Yeah.
That person, between he or him, between themselves, they know this person means a lot to me. You understand?
Okay.
Even though, like my ex-girlfriend, she's the reason why I'm lazy. I have my own house today. You understand?
All right.
Okay, we don't break up, but we get some things. Both your days should not assist me with money, but encouragement. You understand?
Yeah.
All these efforts, I can never forget her because of all those things.
All right.
So you don't need to expect nothing where you are helping somebody. Just do what you can do and do. You understand?
Do the most you can and leave the rest for God. Godwin, thank you so much for calling. All right. Thank you. Hello and good afternoon to you. Oh, it missed right there. Please do what to call back. The numbers are 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. You can join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook. Some of you already joined in. Thank you so much. Leave a comment. I will be glad to acknowledge your thoughts. Hello and good afternoon to you. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Benny. Is that you?
Yes.
Good to have you. So where are you calling us from today?
I'm calling from Galadima.
Oh, interesting. So let's hear from you. Is this a deal breaker for you?
Honestly, if there is much interest, I will support, but I cannot go in full.
Okay.
You have to have there's no how you'll be so jobless. So you have to support, then I will support also.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what if the person does not, maybe marry you at the end of the day? Are you going to have regrets?
Don't be regret, surely now. So you take the heartbreak and move on.
Okay. So would you want to assist someone in the future after that heartbreak?
It will take a lot before that happens.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where is IK now?
Well, IK is unavoidably absent today. So hopefully he'll be here tomorrow or Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you
Have
very
a nice
much,
day.
Benny. You too. You too have a nice day. Okay, so I see some messages on the Facebook page already. We have this one from Sustin Annie Fan God. And Sustin says, nah, I definitely won't do that the second time. I was once a victim. Oh dear, you were once a victim? Come on. So sorry about that, honestly. So sorry about that. Okay? But you don't have to feel bad about it. You are a kind person, all right? That should be the person's loss anyway. Lakia, right? Or Lekaya, according to Uduak, Uduma Agi says, nope, but prepare your mind just in case. Lekaya, thank you so much for this message. And I understand that you asked after me earlier today. Thank you so much for your concern. I really, really do appreciate it. Okay, hello and good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, I'm Jeff, calling from Gariki.
Good to have you, Jeff. Are you a first-time caller?
Yes, first time caller.
Let me ring the bell to that. Thank you so much. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
But the long run, you see, when I was in school, I was having a business and I was funding my school fees and as well funding my girlfriend's school fees.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, the reason was actually to get married.
All right.
But we fell out. At some point, you tend to regret. Why did you even sacrifice that money, used it for something else? Now that I'm married, if my wife decides to further her education,
right,
I can support. Give what I can give.
Okay.
Then she brings her own, then do her thing.
Even though that if are married, you will still have to contribute.
I didn't hear you.
No, I'm asking that now that you two are married, she will still have to contribute if she decides to further her education?
Yes, I will contribute. Why?
No, I'm asking, does she really have to contribute or you take the responsibility?
We will share it.
Why do you have to share it, Jeff? Why? Come on.
I will share it. It's not a bad thing if I actually do the whole thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's a sign of commitment to what she wants to do.
Okay. That's right. Makes sense. Well, good to hear that, Jeff. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. Okay, the numbers are still 090-8766-8888 or 090-735-30044. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number, and that is 090-9705-4450. Is it wrong to train your wife or your husband to be through school? The ladies, you honestly would have to tell me if you are comfortable training a boy, a man who is not yet your husband through school. Maybe not you training him completely, but you have to contribute a little. You understand? Just to help the person navigate. Is this something you'll be willing to do if the opportunity should avail itself? Let's hear from you. Hello and good afternoon to you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is this Solomon?
Yeah, no, my name is Tanko.
Okay. Tanko from where?
I'm calling from Wuse.
All right. Are you a first-time caller?
Yeah, first time caller.
Interesting.
Yes. I want to correct one impression.
Okay, which is?
That when you are in a relationship, you think about marriage. Everything is about marriage.
No,
it's like going to the market.
If the relationship is defined already, I mean, from the onset, that look, I'm not here to
No,
play.
how you define it.
Okay.
And people will think you must marry.
Okay.
It's like you want to go to Wuse market. You make a list. I want to buy plantain, banana, okra. Is it that the first okra you see that you buy? It's not. You may see the first okra. It's not the fresh enough. You move to the second okra.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
So, if Parabenso God brought a man that we should help him or her. Not putting him in school or helping him. It doesn't make sense. Everybody's not breaking your heart, breaking your heart. You don't know to go. Oh, if you don't want to marry me, and that was not the agreement, but if you say, let me put you in school so that you will marry me, I don't understand it.
No, it's not necessarily. You're not just like sending the person to school because you want to marry them. You are in a relationship with them, a committed relationship. Do you understand? It's a committed relationship.
Can you define what is committed relationship and you don't put marriage?
Well, if you are in a relationship with a lady, for example, and you decide to propose to her, and that's because you've seen qualities that actually, suit your own interest as a man. And you're more than convinced.
Quality with a very short time. You have to be in a relationship first.
Of course, you have to.
The woman that you have, a man.
Right. I mean,
because now when you see a girl, the first thing that comes to our mind or his mind is marriage, and that's why you have broken marriages all over.
Okay.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Tanko. Okay. Well, there has to be a relationship before marriage. Quite all right, but. Do you venture into every relationship without knowing what you want first? I think if you know what you want first before you venture into in a relationship, it shouldn't take you forever to indeed, decide what to do or the right thing to do. So you're saying that if you go to the market to get okra, if you see this one and it's not fresh enough, you have to go for another one and all of that. You have to make up your mind first from home before you even get to the market. Indeed, you're going there to buy okra. So as you go to the market, you see basket of okra, out there. You look from afar. Even if you want to go close, you go close, but not too close. You look very carefully. Oh, this one is not good enough for me. This one is not good enough for me. You don't have to go in completely before you know that something is not good enough for you. Because we all have that spirit of discernment. So indeed, there is relationship before marriage. Quite all right. So if you are in a committed relationship, you two have been dating, and at some point in time, you've realized that you'd like to, in fact, you eventually decide that you want to spend the rest of your lives, with each other. And this person has this very pressing need to further his or her education. Will it be out of place for you to contribute or to take responsibility? Will it be out of place? Simply because the person is not your wife yet, or simply because the person is not your husband yet? Let us try to, get answers to all of these questions. I initially said it's just one question, but indeed, there are a lot more, questions that we need to get answers to on the show this afternoon. Hello and good afternoon to you. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Hello, Omeko.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, this is Godwin calling you back.
All right, welcome back, Godwin.
All right, the first opinion I raise is when I'm a single person. Then, if I want to talk now, if I'm married, I'm already married, you understand? And my wife feel like she wants to go back to school. Understand? Then, if I can afford the money to take her to school, the first thing I will do, I'll first of all give her a capital.
Okay.
You first of all have something doing like business or something.
Okay.
I can't just she not be doing it. I will just send her to school. I first of all provide business for her to do. Then from there she too will be provide so that any day I do not provide, she will provide for herself. You understand? And again, if you anything you do for person free. Most like as today now, if I dash you shoe now, so you wear shoe now, you see now they wear the shoe anyhow. You understand?
Okay.
They use and they walk anyhow. But if you use your money, if you contribute for the money, and buy the shoe.
Should value
you
it.
See, yes, you value it.
All right.
So you need to contribute your own insight so that you take it to them. For instance, if saying our handwork you want to learn, when you put your money there to learn the handwork, see when you learn the work, you value it.
Okay. All right, Godwin, thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling back. And you see, this question has actually been greeted with, mixed reactions. Some are of the opinion that it is only a foolish man, that would take relationship advice from a woman, that it would only end in tears for the man because the woman is only concerned about, the well-being of her fellow woman. So, do not train a woman who is not your wife yet through school. Some are even saying that, well, on the other hand, some are saying that if you love her and you're very sure that she loves you in return, then you should do it by all means. Go for it. Don't listen to, people that will tell you not to do, what it is that you have in mind to do. I think whatever decision that we make in life, we should get that conviction, first of all, before we venture into it. If you're in a relationship, committed or not, and then there is this pressing demand on the table before you, I think you have to be convinced first. It's not just because you're in a relationship with this person and you're scared of, breaking the person's heart by not turning up to assist the person, especially now that the person actually needs you the most. Are you convinced about this? Nobody should cajole you into doing what you don't want to do, honestly. So there has to be some sort of conviction from you first. Convince yourself by yourself first that if you venture into this, it won't be a bad idea. Whether or not the relationship leads to marriage, there should be no regrets. It only says a lot about how kind you are as a person. And same thing applies to the women too. Because most of the time we are on the asking side. We'd always ask. We always want to receive, but we don't want to give. It's almost impossible for a woman to say, oh, I can gladly train my man through school, even when he's not my husband yet. How many women can really do that today? If you can, call in and tell me, yes, you can boldly do that, and you won't have regrets if the relationship does not even end up in marriage. Honestly, no one is here to take your words or to put words in your mouth or to judge you simply because of your submission on the show, okay? And once again, I'd like you to know that we have a very strong presence on YouTube and Facebook. You can join us on YouTube and Facebook at the moment. Join the conversation live. Leave a comment if you like. I really will be glad to acknowledge your thoughts. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
All right.
What's your name and where you're calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from Jua. My name is Universe.
All right. Please go ahead.
All right. As for that, sometimes there's something attached to a relationship, which to me I think is not necessary like that.
Which is?
Like sometimes you have pity for somebody that you're in love with them. That's a very, very wrong aspect of relationship. So when sometimes like that situation like this occurs, to me, I would rather ask like, why do you want me to send you to school? If I should, then I should be fully aware that I am going to take responsibility of the education. Not in a situation whereby after I finish paying bills, maybe by the time she's graduated, and that maybe you want to settle down with her, she begin to like
give you attitude.
Yeah, or maybe probably not because you help me to pay maybe 1 or 2 of my school fees that you think you sponsor me to school. When you know you paid complete school fees all through the semester, all through the session.
Yeah.
Now she begins to say, okay, you actually know the one that sponsored her. My uncle has been there, been paying. My brother has been there paying. Why didn't you tell me from the onset? Okay, now it becomes my fault now because I attach pity into it. But now, a situation like that comes in, seriously, I would rather contribute my own quota and just move on. Like, I'm not part of this. If you want to go to school, go to school. But maybe you need some money. If I have, I'll give it to you. I'm not ready to pay your school fees, not ready to buy any handout, not ready for anything. But if I have for me, I'll contribute for you. I'm not sending you to school.
But are you speaking from experience?
I'm actually speaking it from my experience because my elder brother was once a victim of that. We were laughing at him when he started this stuff. There is this girl he came and saw in my place, and before you know, they fell in love with. The girl's mother is a single parent, so he took upon himself to send the girl to school, send her to Benue State University or so.
Right.
After this girl finished now, she became like a big girl, polished, and she began to shine. So when my brother took a step to advance, like, after let's get to the next stage of life, let's settle down. He's like, no, you're not my kind of man. Me? So, like, from there now, I think I learned a lot.
Wow.
So I can't accept that again. I didn't let that happen to somebody close to me or me either. So I think this is my one take as regards to that.
Right. Well, these are the issues, really. But thank you so much for, being honest with us on the show. Thank you so much for sharing with us as well. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. Okay. Hello and good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Yes. Yeah. Good afternoon to you.
Yes. Yes. What your name and location?
Yes, I'm calling from Kalimo. My name is Samuel.
All right. Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I just first want to say that this topic you brought this afternoon is a big one. It's something today to find out is happening so rampant. So, I don't know, but I would like to start with saying it depends. Because most people, you can't just see a relationship. You can't just wake up and start getting yourself involved in a relationship.
Right.
But in the process of even if the relationship is serious, life is just like nobody knows tomorrow.
That's right.
So even as serious, because I've seen a relationship where they're both serious that they really want to achieve their aim of being together. But so funny, at the end of the day, they couldn't. So, but if you look at this topic that you brought, most of it is the men that suffer than the women. I don't know, but I'm start to be corrected.
It's your opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Because I feel that it's men that suffer this because most men train their wives to be or their friends to school. At the end of the day, in the hope that they will get married to them. In the end of the day, nothing that happened. Sometimes it will come like maybe the woman has gone to educate herself and she become wiser or see somebody that she convinced you, then the marriage could not hold. But that is not an excuse.
Okay.
First, in this type of in relationship, just like Mr. Tonko was trying to make an example, but even if he was not in that other way that I was expecting to say.
Yeah.
If you know where you are going, you will know the car that you are purchasing.
That's right.
You that is coming from South, Delta, right?
Delta, right. Yes.
So there is no how you convey a car here in Abuja to Katsina. So a car that is falling towards outside, that is where you go. Even if Delta is not the only state in
the south.
In the south.
Right.
So in this case, when you know who you are, when you know who you are doing relationship with, then you know the intention. If you are convinced, just like I said before, if you are convinced enough, then you can the conviction cannot make you to start sponsoring somebody in school. No. It's only you are like a generous person that you're kind of person that if you give, you don't care. I don't spend. Even if I spend how many billion, I will not look back.
Okay.
So these are the only men that even if the relationship could not work out, there's nothing like a broken out or something.
Okay,
so say I expect it.
But sir, is this something you'd like to do in the future? If you eventually, see a woman that you love and you like to spend the rest of your life with her?
Okay, I am here to tell you that I have experienced one.
Oh.
Yes, this is how you go. From the beginning of the relationship, it's a relationship that is very serious. In fact, everybody that sees us together know that these people definitely they are ending together. Then I was in school too. So when I go graduating, so I have to face our own that I want her to go to school too. But I told her that I would do whatever that would take for me to ensure that I get to graduate in school. But it's not a goal that at the end of it I will use against you that if you don't marry me, this blah 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 blah. If at the end of the day we did not get married, it means that we are not from beginning meant to be together. And that was what happened. So when she go away, but all excuses later came from her. But I like overlooked everything and giving everything away. I'm like, this is anything.
Life goes on.
Now, yes, life goes on. Now today, I have one of the one I was expecting even from the beginning. So it's something because some people will say, okay, if you love her too much, if you love her, if you're too sure, you cannot guarantee tomorrow. That is what some of us does not know.
All right.
But unless you have to be a generous giver, a kind person that you don't give, they will not look into.
All right.
If not be so, you will cry.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Sam, for your contribution right there. And so sorry about, the experience you had in the past. Okay. Hello and good afternoon to you. All right. Please do have to call back. It's beginning to look like we'll just have to stretch this conversation, a little further because people are still calling in, probably because they have something very important to say as far as this topic is concerned. Hello and good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I'm not this is Godwin. Just pick one.
Okay. All right.
You see, I have nothing to regret after my spend on my money transfer with maybe or anybody. Understand?
Right.
Yeah. The only say, if you want to use me positive. Understand? Don't use me negative. Understand? If you feel like maybe I have spent on my money, I have spent you to sponsor you. I feel like it's my happiness is for me to see you to be successful. You understand? Once you are successful, that's my happiness. At least whenever I see, I know, yes, I am the reason why you are like this.
Right.
For instance, if you pay my money, just use that money and do something positive.
Okay.
You understand? But when I see you misbehaving with money, that is the one I will regret it.
All right.
I see you doing well in life. I have nothing to regret.
Okay.
That's what I mean by doing it.
All right. Thank you so much for calling back. And Julius, I just missed your call and a host of others. Please do want to call back. All right. Let's see if we can make do with 10 minutes, before we wrap things up. Uche from Akamata says, good afternoon, Omoife. Oh, I think I just have to take this call first. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Omoife.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm okay. And you?
I'm good.
All right.
This is Julius calling from Abuja.
Thank you so much, Julius. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, now, what we're saying here is this. Yeah, it is normal for you to train your spouse or maybe assist her when it comes to that situation. But in this part of the country, this Nigeria, especially Nigerian girls, and they are seeing men.
You should say especially some Nigerian girls.
So, sorry. I'm not referring to you, please. Okay.
All right.
I'm really sorry for that.
Thank you.
So, some Nigerian girls, they are seeing men as investment. They are investing in their men. Like let me just say, asset. They are seeing men as asset.
Okay.
Yeah, they can extract money from. It's not supposed to be so. And men should take
they should
correction.
take note. Okay.
Yeah, they should take note of that. So, what I do tell my friends sometimes is, you see this thing they call marriage. It is a legal prison. Nobody will push you into it. You go into it by yourself. If you see anything bad or maybe some kind of character, then you take it like that. You take it like that.
Okay.
So you just have to be careful in choosing your spouse. So this is it. Training a lady to this thing is not, but you know this arrogance and let me say ego.
Yeah.
Our ladies, they do have it too much. Like it's too much.
Okay.
Somebody had trained you to school. Maybe after graduating, you come and you'll be seeing that person less. That's not when you know that you are not in the same level with that person. Somebody who sacrificed for you to take you to school, he agreed with you because he loved you. It's a very bad scenario. It's it's very, very bad. Very bad. Our women should let me just say should change that mindset. It's very bad.
All right.
Very bad.
All right.
That's the reason why you see so many people, they are not married up to the age of some kind of age.
Okay.
You see them, because you see a lady driving a Range Rover Sport. She's not married, but when you see her like this, you will be afraid to even approach her.
Okay.
Because she will look down on you. She will say, I'm not your type. I went to school, this, that. And that is how they will be married to their certificate.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling. Ernest, I missed your calls. You might want to call back. All right. Okay, so Uche from Akamata says, good afternoon, Omoefe. I can't train a woman because I love her. Based on, I say, let me train her. I'm not discouraging any man who will, do that. But as for me, on no account will I take such risk. It's true. It works for those who it works for. If we love each other, then let's have a commitment by doing the needful. Then I can take full responsibility, and whatever the outcome turns out, let it be for us. Because there is no guarantee that things would definitely, or things would actually work out if how we planned. Okay, besides, we grew every day. Choice and decisions, can change. And change is one factor that we cannot rule out in life. What matters to you today might be less priority tomorrow. Therefore, I will not take unnecessary risk when I have a better way to go about it. To avoid future regret, some risks are not worth the while. Uche from Akamata, sometimes let's just leave our emotions behind and face life realities because emotions can be deceptive at times. Okay. Uche, thank you for that message. And dear Ernest, I just missed your call again. Please, kindly call back. All right. Apologies. Please call back. We have 3 minutes left. Let's see if we can squeeze in 1 or 2 calls. I don't know. There is a call on the other line. All right, Ernest is back. Hello, Ernest.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Where are you calling us from?
Oh, from Suya.
Okay. So please go ahead. Let's hear from you.
No, I joined you like 15 minutes ago. It seems you have dropped the topic already before I joined. So I don't know if I can deduce from what I had. Is it
okay?
Can you train a lady from school?
Is it wrong to train your wife or husband to be through school?
When you are not yet married, right?
Yes, please.
From experience,
okay,
the one I had is always not ending on a good foot, on a good note rather.
Wow.
So because I have seen experience, when the lady graduated, he said the guy is not up to his standard. Though the guy was, I don't know, maybe his level of education, he was just a driver.
Oh.
So that is it. But if I wouldn't like to do that.
Okay.
Because I have other experience also that the man was training a lady. That was they were even married or even had children. When the lady graduated from school, he packed and left the man.
Oh.
So the man is not up to the standard. If you are a kind of a philanthropist, you can do that. If you have a clear mind that anything can happen. But I wouldn't think I should do that.
Okay.
If I have married a person and the person is with me at home, can be going to school. But not that you say until you finish school and you see the one sponsoring you. When you finish, you now do the marriage. I wouldn't like it.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't like it.
Thank you so
much. And I wouldn't also advise anybody to do such.
Really?
No, it's not good. On a humanitarian basis. You can, this thing. No, you said we have to define what the thing is.
Yep.
So I wouldn't like if somebody takes my advice. I wouldn't like, and I wouldn't like to do it unless I'm ready to receive the outcome, what may come out of it at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ernest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
All right. Okay. Well, can we really say it's been views and counter views? Because I think majority of contributors on the show, they've actually submitted that no, it's risky, and it's not going to worth it at the end of the day. It's not even worth it. Well, a takeaway from the conversation today would be the fact that we need to do better as ladies, as women, and you need to know that for every action that you take, the consequences that will come with that action is not just going to rub off on you. It's going to rub off on so many people out there, and it has a way of affecting, you know, our society. I mean, the society that we find ourselves today, because a number of people who called in to share their 2 cents on this show today, they are saying it's not like most of them had this, you know, experience or encounter, but from what they've seen and heard, they are now even scared to venture into this kind of thing. They are saying that no, it's a no, because maybe people close to them, relatives or even friends, maybe neighbors, or they even heard in the news where a man decided to train a woman through school before even getting married to her. And at the end of the day, the woman looked at him in the face and like, come on, you're below my standard. So these are the things. All right, these are the things. But in a whole, I think horrible experience or experiences, as it were, of one should not deter you. It shouldn't discourage you from being generous. It shouldn't discourage you from being kind. And you cannot judge a book by its cover, right? The fact that some women messed up in the past does not mean that every woman you come across, you now have to look at them that way and see them in that light, that, oh, this one is definitely going to do the same thing. You know, spiritual life, whatever it is, be very intentional. And I think the things you say out of your mouth, your utterances, it would go in bringing to reality, you know, not necessarily bringing to reality, but it will go a long way in kind of twisting your own expectations at the end of the day, because they say the mind is very powerful, and we are just a reflection of our thoughts, whether we like it or not. So if you're meeting a woman for the first time today, you're just starting a relationship. I'm not saying that you should hurriedly, you're just meeting how you definitely would see. That would even give you the go ahead to want to invest your time and your resources in that relationship, and more so that person. All right. So most importantly, let us always put God first. Whatever it is, take it to God in prayers and seek His guidance, you know, in everything you find yourself, you know, doing. It's very important. What can we say? All the eggs in a crate can be bad at the same time. If one is bad, you just pick that one, you throw it away. You cannot throw away the whole crate of eggs because one is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just going to be about it for the Afropop Hour today. I had a great time hearing from family members. Those who called in for the first time, thank you so much. I hope and pray that it won't be a one-off kind of conversation or contribution, but you would just have every reason to stay on this dial henceforth. And the conversation does not end here. It continues on Facebook and YouTube. You can go right to Facebook and YouTube at this point in time. Leave a comment. And if you missed the show, just have a playback. Leave a comment. I